Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the JumboCast broadcast of some NESCAC volleyball action between the Tufts University Jumbos and the Bates Bobcats. Jumbo stepping in with a 21-1 record, and the Bobcats stepping in with a 16-7 record. The Jumbos recently suffering their first loss of the season at the hands of Babson. My name is Owen Finnegan, joined alongside by Owen Fitzsimon. Owen, what can we expect from today's game?
Well, Owen, I think what we can expect today is just like with any other NESCAC game, some good competitive volleyball all around. I think a lot of people will be expecting Tufts to take this one, and doing so lock in the first seed for the NESCAC and the hosting responsibilities for the tournament. But any NESCAC team, as you know, could have a surprise in them. Tufts, I don't think, after the beginning of the year, expecting to lose any games, let alone any sets, after they went a month without losing a single one. So, it looks pretty straightforward, but you never know. It's Halloween. Could get spooky out there for Tufts. We'll see what happens.
Absolutely. With a win tonight, the Jumbos will secure the #1 seed overall in the NESCAC, which is important for the tournament that will be happening next weekend. Now, let's get on to the action. I hope you enjoyed our Halloween costumes. So with the starting lineups announced, they look pretty normal for the Jumbos. A notable addition is Kate Dessler, the sophomore, who missed a few weeks due to an illness, is now back on the court, so good news for the Jumbos. Getting ready to serve is senior Rachel Furash. And with that, the game is off to a start. There's Sydney Phillips with the attempted kill. It's no good. Here's Bell from the 10-foot line, and it's dug up with the libero of Bates. Lead to Furash. Furash to Stewart on the outside. Stewart tries to get one past Stafford Smith, but it's no good. Here's a free ball. I believe that was Stafford Smith with her hands on it and sends that one way out of bounds. Tufts takes the lead 1-0.
A little bit of a miscommunication there. It looked to be on the Bates side of the ball early on in the game, yet they'll look to get that worked out.
Similar teams in the sense that both have a lot of seniors that both play and start for them. That's Julia Panapinto up to the powerful hit from Lightburn. And Wongpa, it's going to be out of bounds, and it did not touch the Bates defender, so it's going to even up the score at 1-1.
A rare miss there for Nwangpa. Normally very good from those positions, leading the Tufts team in kills this season.
The junior from Los Angeles, California, Ruby Lightburn, is getting ready for Bates' first serve of the set, and here it is. Out of bounds, so not the start that the Bobcats were hoping for, as Jumbos take a 2-1 lead off of the Bates service error.
Lightburn also a very good server. In general, this Bates team is a very good team from service. Ruby Lightburn with 44 service aces on the year so far. Second highest on the team.
Bridget Bell to Eustache. Good idea from, I believe that was Sydney Phillips. Excuse me, it was Uchepwa. The point is going to go to the Jumbos as that ball is out of bounds. So it's 3-1 Jumbos. An early lead, and let me tell you, Owen, you cannot let this Jumbo team get too far ahead.
Especially now with Bridget Bell serving here.
Eustache with the initial dig, and Dessler is going to get tooled by, not sure who that was on the Bates side. It looked like it may have been Sydney Phillips.
Early substitution here for Bates as well. Number 6 checking into the game.
Yep, that's Delaney Mayfield. Mayfield, the junior from Santa Barbara, California. Noticeable Mayfield, one of the few 6-footers on the court, so look for her to make an impact at the front court. That ball is knocked way up in the air by Panapinto. But it's going to be a good job by Bates to handle this ball as it's sent over, and it's a free ball for the Jumbos. Wongpa with the dummy, and that's going to be Stewart with the kill.
Well-worked set piece there, straight from the training area. Tufts converts, 4-2.
Stewart, a captain, and was a captain in her junior year as well, so a 2-year captain for the Jumbos squad. First year, Stephanie Lee with the serve, and it's going to be played a bit awkwardly by Seabury. And what a shot from, that looked like Stafford Smith, the senior. Bell just couldn't get under there to dig it. You can see the frustration in Bell's face. Some substitutions on the Bobcats side as Emma Ide, who's a first year from Ramsey, New Jersey, steps in for the serve. It's a running serve. High to Kate Dessler. There's Heather Holtz with a quick kill, and Ide was not able to recover in time. It's going to make it 4-3 Jumbos.
5-3.
5-3, excuse me.
A good strong start here from the Jumbos, exactly what they were looking to do. Take a little bit of control of this game and get on to their better servers here.
If you're a fan of Tufts volleyball, that means you've probably heard my voice before, and you probably know that I am not very good at math. Attempted roll shot by, Delaney Mayfield is no good, and I think they're going to call a net violation on the Bobcats to make it 6-3, and Tufts has doubled the score of the Bobcats early in this first set. Zedrick setting up for her second serve, and it's a good one. You can see it was misplayed by Seabury. It had a bit of an awkward spin on it. That ball's going to be played over by Stafford Smith, and it's going to be a good set play for the Jumbos. That's Dessler to the outside, well played by Eustache. And a running save by Emma Ide. I believe they're going to call that a lift, if I'm not mistaken. And they did. So that was a lift on Ide. So what I thought was a good play was actually a foul.
It's hard to see it all the way from up here. I would trust the ref from his perspective most of the time here.
Oh, beautiful play by Emma Ide, the first year with the presence of mind, and caught the Jumbos sleeping.
Nobody ready for that one here on the Jumbo side of the ball.
Yeah, a little two-hitter from Ide. Ide, typically a setter, but gets an offensive kill there. Great job. 8-4, so the Bobcats down 4. And here's one of the better players on the team, Taylor Stafford Smith, with the serve. Zedrick with the reverse set to Jennifer Ryan. Ryan finding the back corner to make it 9-4. Ryan, another member of the Jumbo squad who missed a bit of time due to injury. She had a hand injury for a little bit, but is now back on the court. No tape on her hands and is looking good. Here's an attempted kill by, that was Lightburn, and it was dug out by Lee. That ball blasted straight over the head of Ide by Bell, and the refs are going to call it out of bounds. It was pretty close. Nevertheless, it's 9-5 Jumbos, and it remains a pretty close game.
Yeah, absolutely. Bates will be happy to keep it close and see if they can start a run here.
Here's Gabby Eustache, hailing from New York City and getting ready for her serve. You can see she sets up from all the way from the baseline and serves up pretty far away from the backcourt line. And another good play by the Bobcats to catch Bell off guard.
It's the third time they've tried it and the second time they've succeeded. Bates apparently looking to go to it a lot tonight.
Yeah, those roll shots are going to look good, and I don't blame them with such good blocking players for the Jumbos, including Wongpa and Holtz. Holtz, who's on the court right now. You're going to have to get him with a little bit of trickery. You're not just going to overpower him. Zedrick with the set to Bell. Bell with a roll shot of her own, but it's dug out by Ide. Eustache can't get there in time. It's going to be a point to the Jumbos. That point is going to be attributed to Bell.
Still can't get over how far back off the line she was serving there, adding an extra 2 or 3 or 4 feet to her serve.
Yeah, we'll have to take a closer look at that as Eustache serves later in the game. Bell attempting to dunk there, but Stafford Smith got there first. Ball's pushed over by Zedrick, and they're going to call a double touch on Zedrick to give the point to the Bobcats to make it 10-6.
Yeah, Coach Cora Thompson for Tufts won't be happy with the communication that she's seeing so far. You can see visible confusion there out there on the court between, I believe it was Zedrick and Nwangpa on the last ball.
Yeah, Holtz comes off, Wongpa comes on. And there's Jennifer Ryan looking for her second kill, but it's going to be dug out by Pinapinto. Bell looking for the dunk, and Eustache couldn't recover in time, so another point goes to Bell early in this first set. Bridget Bell, of course, a friend of the program, a fellow JumboCaster, getting her name called early and often in this first set.
Senior captain as well as Bridget Bell.
Rachel Furass with a running serve directly into the net, and that's going to reduce the Jumbos' lead to 3. Ruby Lightburn, who Owen mentioned was one of the better servers on this Bates side, getting ready for her serve. And look at that, a service ace for Ruby Lightburn.
So that would make it 45 on the year now. She's second highest on the team, with only Ide with 48 above her.
Wow.
But now it's in 3, so let's see if she can take that lead here.
Let's look at the spin on this ball. Yeah, pretty regular rotation. Bell just couldn't handle it very well. Wongpa with a powerful kill. Looked like Lightburn was caught on her the heels of her feet there. Going to make it 12-9. Jumbos remain in the lead by 3. Bridget Bell, one of many players on the court from California today, getting ready for her serve. Not a running serve, just a standing serve. Here's the play up to, that was Uchepwa. And Dessler is going to, no, that point is going to go to the Bobcats.
Another rare miss from Tufts here. You're seeing a lot of uncommon mistakes from Tufts with the communication and the kills and the stuff that they're normally so good at. Bates is just going to have to take advantage of these moments where Tufts slips up.
Ton of substitutions for the Bobcats, keeping in fresh legs. That was served into the net by the Bobcats. But as I was saying, Katie Sanchez, the first year, just came on the court and remains on the court for this point. 10-13 as Lee serves. Oh, and a beautiful play by Penna Pinto. Another one of those setter kills that has gotten the Jumbos twice tonight.
Third time, isn't it?
Third time, I believe you're right.
3 points, and as they only have 11, that's over a quarter of their points so far have come off these little bit of trickery that they've added into their routine here.
So the Bobcats threatening with only a 2-point deficit, and that ball is misplayed by Dessler, which is going to make it a 1-point deficit. That service ace is going to go to Emma Ide.
There we go. Emma Ide now in 49 for the year. Pulling back away from Lightburn here. A little competition within the competition here between Ide and Lightburn.
Yeah, healthy competition. The Jumbos will take their first time out here, and it's no mystery why. 13-12 for a team that we were talking about pregame. The Jumbos should beat fairly handily. Bates tied for 6th in the NESCAC, which means they will get some tournament play if that result holds. But nevertheless, much lower than Tufts' first place ranking.
I absolutely agree. It's hard to debate the statistics of it all, but you got to remember you got to take each game as its individual game. And Tufts just can't lose concentration because, as you see, Bates' game plan coming into the game is to catch them out when they're not paying attention. Tufts maybe looking a little complacent and flat on their feet here. Not what you want to look like going into the biggest tournament of the year for you.
Absolutely. For those keeping track at home, I do want to point out that the NESCAC #1 seed is still up in the air. Wesleyan has their NESCAC record locked in at 9-1, while the Jumbos are currently 8-0 with a NESCAC game tonight and a game tomorrow against Colby. So shall the Jumbos lose both of those games, they will fall to the 2nd seed in the NESCAC.
So a terrific season so far here from the Jumbos, but nothing is guaranteed at this point. But a win tonight, thanks to the head-to-head between Wesleyan, would secure that hosting position and the 1st seed.
So Ide with a bit of a sinking serve there, and Dessler looking to make them pay does not work as Seabury was there. There's Stafford Smith going high over the net. Dessler, hard shot here. Looks for Eustache in the back corner. Reverse set to McCulloch. Gives the reverse set to Stewart, and you knew Stewart was going to get her name called sooner or later.
Absolutely. Huge kill there. Bates just could not handle it. Got under it, but in the end, too powerful.
Some serving substitutions for the Jumbos as Ariel Zedrick steps on to serve. And look at that tall blocking combination of Holtz and Dessler for the Jumbos. Oh, was it in bounds? It was not. That was a close play by McCulloch. Almost snuck that one within the blue lines, but nevertheless, a couple inches out of bounds, and it is now 15-12 Jumbos.
Almost clocked Dessler in the face as well there. Did well to get out of the way of that one. Great serve.
Yeah, with a great serve. Here's Stafford Smith going across the court, but Bell is there. Zedrick, reverse set to Jennifer Ryan. This play has worked for them so far. Not this time. Eustache with the set. That was Katie Sanchez with the attempted roll shot, but it's no good. There's Dessler, picking on Ide, and Ide manages to get it over. This should be a free ball for the Bobcats, and a crazy turn of events, and the point is going to go to the Bobcats.
There was a headband came flying off there, and excitement for these Bates Bobcats. A very well-won point. A truly terrific return over the net to Kate Dessler.
I don't know whether to call it a happy accident or a good presence of mind from Emma Ide. She got up to block Dessler's shot, and it just went right over to the Jumbo side and kind of caught the Jumbos off guard. Nevertheless, what a point for the Bobcats to reduce the lead to 2. Here's Stafford Smith, the senior, with the serve. It's not played very well by Bridget Bell. So again, some awkwardness. Not a lot of communication here from the Jumbos. They're going to have to give a free ball to the Bobcats. That was Lightburn looking to make them pay. Here's a 3-hitter to Dessler, but it's well blocked by the blocking combination of Mayfield. And Jennifer Ryan with her 3rd powerful kill of the game. Those reverse sets to Ryan have been working wonders for the Jumbos so far.
Trying to get Tufts back on track here with a little bit of power. Bates held up well there for a long time, hoping to force a Tufts mistake, but ultimately Tufts prevailed on that particular point.
Right, Owen, and I like that observation. I think that's exactly how Bates wants to play. Make Tufts make the mistakes. They've been making a lot of them in the first set. And there's another one as the collision between Zedrick and Dessler is going to reduce the lead to 2.
A bit of a commentator's curse there from us, Owen.
You'll see Wongpo looking for the substitution and going back to the sideline there. Christina Wongpo maybe playing a little bit less than some Jumbos fans may have expected in this first set. Here's Eustache with Libero with the serve. Dessler with the handle. It's a little bit close to the net, but it's a good set by Zedrick. Eustache is going to have to send it over. This is going to be a free ball for the Jumbos. It'll be interesting to see what they do here. Oh, and it's a bad play. Oh, it's a misplay by Zedrick. It's going to go, past the pole, past the out-of-bounds pole. And now the Jumbos' lead is reduced to 1.
Yeah, the Jumbos normally so good. You don't want to give them a free ball, but again, they're not making Bates pay.
Yeah, Bates playing fairly error-free after the Jumbos' time out. There's a roll shot by Holtz. It's a close one.
Just out of bounds.
It's going to go to the Jumbos. And I think we saw the bench give a collective sigh of relief there.
It was almost a punch over the net more so than anything. Punch over her back shoulder. Just doesn't stay in for her this time.
Entering the final third of this first set as Holtz takes the serve. Stafford with the dig. It's a good one. That was Uchepwe with the roll shot, but it's no good. Bell sends it over, and it looks like it was misplayed by Emma Ide and sent to the net. So a Bates error, another commentator's curse by me, makes it 18-15 Jumbos. And it's a timeout by Bates.
Timeout by Bates, one each here used by Tufts and Bates. Since the last time out, Owen, what have you noticed all around? General patterns of play here.
Right, I mean, I think you called it right away. I think during that last timeout by the Jumbos, head coach Melissa Duran of the Bobcats was just telling them, hey, they're not playing like themselves out there. Make them make the mistakes. And so far, the Bobcats have done exactly that. We saw a few service errors from the Jumbos. We saw that collision between Dessler and Zedrick, and overall just not the communication that you would expect. I think one indicator of the Jumbos being really off their game is that free ball that was given to them, and then Zedrick messed up the set. Usually we would see Furash coming in for some of these setter rotations, but she has not played very often. We did notice her hand was taped up a little bit. We don't want to speculate anything, of course.
Of course, neither one of us trained medical professionals.
No, not by a long shot, But perhaps something you pay attention to if you are a Jumbos fan. Not to take away from the very crisp volleyball that Bates has been playing. Of course, that one mistake, which led to the timeout. So it'll be a really interesting end to the first set here. Holtz with her second serve. It's a good one. You can see it was misplayed there. There's Lightburn. Dessler with a good save.
Maybe could have let that one go there.
Yeah, Bell calling it off. It's going to have to be a free ball. It's going to be a free ball for the Jumbos. Lightburn. Oh, couldn't get a hand on it. Looks like that set from Ide was a little too high. Not what you want coming out of a timeout.
Absolutely not, but Bates knows that they're in this game now, and the start of the game is so important, giving Bates an idea that they can, in fact, upset the Jumbos.
Yeah, these next few points are really critical. Holt mixing up her serves. Good job by Holtz. Not sure what the call was there. I don't think it was a lift because I didn't see it. Regardless, that point is going to go to the Jumbos.
Yeah, it didn't look like a double touch either.
Bates will have to double Tufts for the rest of the game, or for the rest of the set if they want to win it. Stafford Smith, not a great dig. Good set by Ide, though. Lightburn sending it over, but it's good dummy by Longpa as Bell sends that one over. Eustache with the set. Usually not what you want, but it results in a point, with the point going to Olivia McCulloch. Good job by Eustache. She was caught out of position there, being forced to give the set to her hitter, and she does so well.
Yeah, Tufts got the blockers there, but just a little late. And the wrists just weren't strong enough to keep it out that time.
Stephanie Lee pushing one up to Bridget Bell. That's a big tool for Bell, as Sydney Phillips couldn't get her hands in the right position, and is now 21-16.
I don't know if the folks at home can see, but we are actually not the only ones in costume tonight. There's a mother kangaroo sat in the audience.
I also know I noticed a small child in what looks like might be a Robin costume, or I might not be seeing that right. Eustache with the dig off of the serve. There's the setup to McCulloch. Lead to Stewart. Stewart powerfully well dug by Penapinto. Great job there. This is going to be, into the net. I think Bates should have just gave Tufts the free ball there.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought Bell may have touched the net from where I was standing, but obviously the referee in a much better position. Tufts comes away with the point, as Bates, I believe, calls another timeout.
Yep, so last timeout of the set for Bates. as Tufts is 3 points away from a first set victory.
Tufts not making things easy for themselves here, but still looking to pull ahead in this set. I have worked 4 volleyball games this year, and I've never seen Tufts drop a set.
Right, they have yet to drop a set at home, actually. So that's probably why. There was a stretch of time where Tufts went a whole calendar month without losing a set. But, of course, we mentioned that loss coming to Babson at the MIT tournament last weekend sort of ended that streak. Babson a really good team. I actually think that loss isn't the worst thing in the world because you don't have the pressure of an undefeated season on your shoulders, and you can focus on doing well in the NESCAC tournament and doing well in the hopefully eventual NCAA tournament.
Absolutely, and
my take.
Humble their pies a little bit as well. Make sure that nobody gets too ahead of themselves, as no game is won before it's played. As Bates are challenging Tufts in this first set.
Here's Rachel Furash, who started the game serving and is looking to now end the first set serving. But not if Stafford Smith has anything to say about it. That ball dug up by Lee, and there's a reverse set to Stewart. Stewart tools. Excuse me, that was a Chepway on the attempted block. It's going to be 23-16. Furash with the serve. Historically has been one of the better servers on the Tufts team. Catches Eustache off of her balance. Ball goes harmlessly to Tufts, and here's Bell. And Tufts seems to have figured something out here with the tools, as the combination of Uchepwe and Phillips cannot block any of these tough shots. 1 point away from a first set victory, as Furash looking to close the door here. Eustache off balance again. There's Phillips. Whoa, that one is going to go almost into the stands, but not quite.
That one very far.
Yeah, Dessler having a bit of trouble handling some of these kills today. 24-17. It's going to take quite a run from the Bobcats to win the set. That was Lightburn with the serve. Here's Stewart looking to end it and hits herself in the face by accident.
You hate to see it happen.
Not the best. And if you know Maddie's personality, you know she'll be joking about that one later, but not on the court because she is quite the competitor. Lightburn again with the serve. This one to Lee. Oh, good set by, great set by Furash there. Wow, the senior showing her experience, and that'll end the first set as Tufts takes a 1-0 set lead.
I think no huge surprises there in the first set with the overall result, but I think Bates will take a lot away from the first set and think that they were very, very good for half of that set. Once Tufts took their timeout, Tufts came out a lot stronger, and Bates never fully recovered, but for a long time in that set, it was very even.
Yeah, absolutely. A bit of a slow start for the Jumbos. I mentioned this during the broadcast, but it looks like during that second timeout, Cora Thompson may have noticed the blocking combination of Phillips and Ichepwa perhaps not doing getting their hands in the right position, and Tufts was managed to get 4 or 5 points off of tools in the end of that set. I also want to shout out Furash because I didn't explain it very well during the broadcast, but the dig from Lee was maybe an inch off of the net, and Rachel was able to get there. Rachel Furash was able to get there and able to set the reverse serve that ended in the game-winning point for the Jumbos. So we mentioned Zedric was struggling a little bit with the sets. That's why it's so helpful to have Furash there, the senior, who has been playing a lot since her freshman year, to get those tough sets.
Absolutely.
Minute and 46 seconds left until the game begins, and I thought this would be a good time to explain our Halloween costumes. So, Owen, would you like to explain what you're dressed as?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I'm Luigi, because Owen told me that if I didn't dress up for the broadcast, I'd be in a lot of trouble, and my next-door neighbor happened to have a Luigi costume.
Perfect.
And as I do not have a Mario with me, I'm going as a lonely Luigi.
Nice. Yeah, I am dressed up as Michael Cera with a mustache.
I believe the reference image was on screen at the beginning of
the
the
reference
broadcast.
image was on screen, but in case you missed the beginning of the broadcast, if you just want to Google Michael Cera mustache, you'll get a pretty good idea of what I look like. If any of you are enjoying the Halloween festivities this weekend, go ahead and drop a comment in our chat saying what you dressed up as, because we'd love to hear it.
Yeah, somebody earlier in the week was questioning Owen on his hair color right before Halloween. So we never know. We may see a A dressed-up Owen Finnegan going around tonight. Weirder things have occurred.
40 seconds until the first set begins, and you'll notice the Jumbo's still in a huddle. What's interesting about that is that they almost always get onto the court with like 35 seconds left in the first, or excuse me, in the set intermissions. So it's actually interesting to see them taking a little bit more time in their meeting before the set to take the court. Just a little interesting pattern there.
Yeah, and I think as Cora Thompson, a 6-time NESCAC Coach of the Year, can attest to anything, it's that she knows what she's doing. So
I'd like to thank one of our viewers, Mr. Ching Zedrick, for clarifying the call. That was a back row attack, was that call that we could not figure out in the first set. So thank you, Mr. Zedrick, for clarifying.
And also thank you for watching.
Yeah, absolutely. I assume a relation to Ariel Zedrick, who has been playing a lot and has been playing quite well so far this game.
Yeah, struggled a little bit at the beginning of the set, but really found her groove there towards the end.
Yeah, Ariel Zedrick, affectionately called Rel by her teammates, although I don't think I know her well enough to call her that. So
Not on broadcast
anyway.
anyway.
I just say Ariel. Usual suspects for the Jumbos, as we see Lee, Furash, Bell, Dessler, Stewart, and Wongpa. Serving for Bates is Penapinto. Furash with the reverse set to Bell. I think that one's going to be called out of bounds. No, wow, it wasn't.
Bates does not agree with the call. You can see there the libero for Bates visibly appalled by the decision.
It was on our near side, so I did not have the best vantage point, but that one did not look
close.
Yeah. So Bell may be getting away with one. Nevertheless, she's getting ready for her serve.
That's what happens when you work for JumboCast.
Stafford Smith with the set. Oh, a miscommunication from the Jumbos. That was a Chepway. Wongpa getting up high for that one. Oh, great job by Penapinto to get there. Oh, and Stafford Smith puts the nail in the coffin. What a play by the Bobcats. What a play by the Bobcats. Great effort from... The point is going to go to Stafford Smith, but that was Penapinto getting the hustle point there.
It's interesting here, actually, with the Chepwa, every time the ball goes to her, I can't tell if it's a miscommunication or just a trick shot at this point. Catching the Jumbos out 3 times earlier in the game.
Reverse set to Stewart. Stewart with her patented powerful kill. No Bobcat even made a play on that one.
Yeah, no mistakes there.
Stephanie Lee, the first year. Ooh, high and close to the net with that serve. Penapinto with the reverse set to McCulloch. Furash pushes one to Dessler. Dessler with the roll shot, but it's no good. Penapinto is there. Penapinto doing a lot of movement. Oh man, Penapinto's been all over the court. Couldn't get a good angle on that one. Sends it out of bounds.
Almost had to shove it through the gap there in the net.
Yeah.
Tufts with Lee to serve now. Lee, I believe we'll talk about a little bit more later, but just an absolutely fantastic addition to this Jumbos team.
Absolutely. Achipwa punching one over. Interesting form there.
I'm telling you, you'll never know what to expect.
You'll see Eustace doing the set again there. Eustace, excuse me. Stewart from the outside. Watch out. Another kill for Stewart.
Same plan, same execution, same result. Can't really argue with that play from the Jumbos.
Nope, keep running that 3 hit to the outside post to Stewart, and it keeps paying off. Lee the serve down the line. Zedrick with the set to Stafford Smith. Watch out, Jumbos. Stafford Smith, one of the best offensive players on Bates, and she shows it there. Stafford Smith receiving the Bobcat spotlight for this game. She has 11 kills. In their last NESCAC game against Trinity, 11 kills. Furash up to Stewart. Stewart going for the finesse this time with the roll shot, but sends it into the net, no good. And 4-2, the Bobcats, 4-3. Bobcats mounting a little bit of a comeback here.
Important few setup points here for Bates.
Achipwa with the serve. Ooh, it's a good one as Bell has to rotate her body to get to that one. Dessler powerfully tooled, and again, some trouble blocking from the Bobcats.
Yeah, that tool's been there all game for him, especially towards the end of that last set.
Yeah, this time it was Mayfield and Phillips with the combination block. Zedrick getting ready to serve. Sends it to the back line. There's McCulloch with the kill, but it's blocked well by Dessler, and Bell was there. Ooh, powerfully was Jennifer Ryan, and that ball was, Seabury tried to make a play on it, but it goes over the heads of the bench players.
Almost a fantastic save there. Just went wayward.
Score is now 6-3 Jumbos as Zedrick is getting ready for a second serve. Stafford Smith on the dig there, and what another good shot from Mayfield. They have been killing Tufts with that short roll shot all game. (6-4) as this set is still close.
Absolutely, still a lot of volleyball left to play here. Bates clearly not disheartened.
That was Emma Ide on the serve. We mentioned how good she is at serving. We saw it there. Oh, and a heartbreaker for the Bobcats as that one is sent out of bounds. I believe that was, Mayfield that sent it out of bounds. But Ide got robbed of an ace there.
Absolutely, what a play.
Former NESCAC Rookie of the Year, Kate Dessler on the serve. The play from Ide to McCulloch.
Be tipped out of bounds there.
Lightburn comes on for the Bobcats.
Now, Nwankwa's leading this Tufts team in blocks so far this year and leading the entire NESCAC, I'm pretty sure. And you can really tell the difference of Tufts' presence at the net when she's not in the game.
Jennifer Ryan showing why she is a junior captain of this team. She's been punishing the Bobcats all day with that power shot and then gets a roll shot that Eustache was not able to rotate to.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but you see a lot of junior leadership throughout the years on this Tufts team. Pretty effective strategy at making sure there's continuous leadership on the team.
Tough set for Ide. Bobcats are able to get it over. And Bell, man, it looks like Bell maybe didn't get all of that shot, but it's still going to result in a point. Yeah, she's laughing about it. You can see it. So,
what's the expression? Rather be lucky than good occasionally. Is she probably got a call to go her way earlier, and the ball goes her way this time.
Ide with the set to Lightburn. Lightburn goes right over the head of Holtz, and it's going to be inbounds. Holtz laughing about it, saying, "My bad, my bad." A little happy belated birthday to Heather Holtz, who celebrated her, I believe, 22nd birthday on Halloween night last night.
Not a bad day to have a birthday. Lots of candy, I assume.
Eustache with the serve, right to Dessler. There's Zedrick to the serve with the set to Wongpa. Ide gets a hand on it. Bit of a free ball here for the Jumbos. There's Ryan. Ryan goes right back to what's been working best for her all game and gets a point for the Jumbos.
It's going to some more substitutions here for the Bows. Thought it may be a timeout. 10-6. Tufts on a good run here, reasserting their control over the second set.
My guess is that if Tufts gets 2 more straight points here, it's going to be a timeout Bobcats.
You're going 2 more?
I'm going 2 more. Offensive look for Stewart here. Good job by Ide getting low to dig that ball out. Furash setting up Wongpa roll shot. Lightburn was all over that one.
Maybe
double touch on the Bobcats.
All right, on.
Untimely errors. The Bobcats were playing that set pretty well. It seemed like they knew all the moves that Tufts had in their back pocket. Unfortunately for Bobcats, the point is going to go to the Jumbos as Rachel Furash gets ready to serve.
Absolutely. What you see with a lot of teams here that play Tufts is Tufts' immense pace that they play at on the court that a lot of teams can't keep up with. And although Bates is a set behind and 5 points behind in this set, so far we're not seeing Bates struggle to keep up with the pace, which is a very good sign for Bates prospects.
Lightburn looking to pick on Lee, and it's successful. Going to make it 11-7.
Lee typically not the one you want to pick on defensively. Gets the job done there that time.
Substitution for the Bobcats. Penapinto steps on, as does Sydney Phillips. I'd like to shout out the Massachusetts players. So Phillips from the nearby Plainville, Massachusetts, graduate of King Philip High School. Stafford Smith from the back line, well played by Dessler. There's Stewart, good block by Uchepwe there. Lightburn from the 10-foot line. Furash rotates to get there. The point is going to go to Rachel Furash. Wow.
She won't score many better than that one.
We have seen some funky plays here in Cousins Gymnasium tonight.
It's getting spooky anyway.
Maybe there's a ghost in the gym right now or something. Bell, the serve, goes outside. Uchepwe has such an interesting hit form. I've never seen anything like it. And it works there as Lee couldn't get her hands on it.
She goes for the more orthodox style there.
12-8, the lead is cut to 4.
Bates looking to mount a comeback, actually in a pretty similar position to what they did last time. Last set, I believe. Apologies.
Lightburn to Dessler. Ooh, Furashly backed up there, but it's a good set to Stewart. Stewart, a little too much love on that one, way out of bounds. So the lead is cut to 3 as the Bobcats are continuing to remain very much in this set. Here comes the serve from Lightburn. It's a short one. Good job by Lee getting there, but it remains to be seen if Tufts can play it. Wow, Lightburn with a great serve there. Blocked by Wongpa. Eustache up to Stafford Smith, and a block by Wongpa. Her first of the game, and that's going to be a point.
Yeah, it took Wongpa a while to get going here at the net. Her presence often throwing people off, but that was her first direct appearance. She almost dunked it on him there.
Yeah, were you to Google NESCAC blocks per set leaders in any point in the last 4 years, you would see Christina Wongpa's name. Lead to Dessler. Dessler looking back court. Set from Penapinto to Stafford Smith. Stafford Smith is denied by Holtz. That ball is knocked way out of bounds by Eustache, and the point is going to go to the Jumbos.
And I believe that is a timeout called by Bates as well.
Only a 5-point deficit for Bates, but it seems that every time they pull up between 3 or 2, Tufts rattles off a couple points of their own. So a frustrating set for the Bobcats so far.
Absolutely, but at the same time, Bates got to ask the question, can Tufts keep doing it? If Tufts keeps letting them back into the game, they're going to get punished eventually.
Absolutely.
And I think Bates knows that coming into it, they wouldn't be on top for much of it, but they got to capitalize on their opportunity and just keep plugging away and making it hard for Tufts, really. Testing the character and the spirit of the team.
I'd like to shout out Christina Wongpa. I am an employee of the Lilly Music Library at Tufts University. I work quite a lot there, almost every single day. And without fail, I see Christina Wongpa in one of the desks working on her homework almost every day of the week. So hard worker on the court and in the classroom. Bates has taken the court. Tufts still ironing out some things as 10 seconds remains in the timeout. Looks like Eustache, Stafford Smith, Seabury, Chepwe, Penapinto, and I believe that's McCulloch for the Bobcats. Lee on the serve. Stafford Smith from the 10-foot line. Bell is there. Here's the set. Oh, Dessler powerfully, but is denied. Bell from the 10-foot line. Eustache was able to get there. Oh, and a good effort by McCulloch is going to result in a Tufts point. She was backed up against the scorer's table there. So Lee, her second serve. Lee serving from the far side of the court in our perspective. Penapinto, ooh, not a great set to Stafford Smith. She's going to just hit it over harmlessly. There's an attempted serve kill from Furash, but it was read well by Penapinto. Stafford Smith, Bell on the recovery, maybe a miscommunication there, and it's going to be a free ball for the Bobcats. Wow, Seabury sliding in dramatically. Stafford Smith denied. It bounces off Eustache. It bounces off Seabury. The point is going to go to the Jumbos.
Bose would be very happy with that one, giving them a free ball, but ultimately playing good defense. And I think an important thing to notice there from Lee was she knew that she had to give away the free ball, but she still put it in an awkward position for the Bates Bobcats, causing a bit of miscommunication.
Unfortunate for the Bobcats, after the timeout, Tufts has gone on a 3-0 run. Reverse set to Stewart, watch out. Inbounds, Maddie Stewart gets another kill. No, yes, 17-9.
Yeah, was called inbounds, and that's the third time so far this set we've seen Maddie Stewart from this side of the court.
Lee's just going to keep doing what's working here. She serves down the line. Seabury handles it not very well. Penapinto sends it up. Eustache bounces it off the top of the net. And sigh of relief for the Jumbos as Holtz was able to recover there. Penapinto, there's a Chepwe. Up to Holtz. Penapinto getting down to cover it. Eustache. That one was dug up by Bell. McCulloch, watch out. Stafford Smith again trying to dunk. Holtz is there. Foul called.
Bates confused by the call, but a couple of good defensive plays in a row there by both teams.
Yeah.
As I think Bridget Bell has gotten vastly underappreciated for her defense on the last 2 points that Tufts have won.
Yeah, absolutely.
2 incredible digs out of the senior.
Absolutely. Oh, and a service ace for Steph Lee. You can see her little shout of victory right there, and the celebration dance from the Jumbo's bench. My goodness, what a run has Lee gone in this set.
Yeah, was not expecting this from the libero.
I think that's 5 points now.
It's from out of the timeout anyway.
Yeah, from out of the timeout. And then she had one before the timeout, so that's 6. Nevertheless, here's Ryan. Woo! Jennifer Ryan has been explosive this game. Excuse me, that was Stewart. Excuse me, I misspoke. That was Stewart. Nevertheless, another very explosive player for the Jumbos, forcing the Bobcats, after that first timeout, got 0 points out of that timeout.
Yeah, as Bobcats are going to have to go basically 3-1 here to finish out the set if they want to force it into extra points here.
I know, and after such a good first set from the Bobcats.
And a good start to the second set as well.
Yeah, good point, yeah.
Yeah, Bates starting strong, but the continuity of it, almost getting a little frustrated with themselves.
Yeah, you can see, though, like, if anything, this is a testament to when the offense of the Jumbos is, like, in sync and clicking, it's almost impossible to beat.
Absolutely. They're back in the state of mind now where if you give them a free ball, it's a point. You got to accept that.
Right.
Which we weren't seeing them be clinical on earlier, but once you let Tufts get any momentum, it just... Also, this girls' volleyball team does a lot for the JumboCast community. As when we have basketball games, they're always running a food stand outside, except Venmo, so we're very gracious.
Absolutely.
To the Tufts women's volleyball team for doing that. We're often snacky, and it's hard covering their games without them there providing food as well.
I'll say it now, my favorite team in the Tufts community is the women's volleyball team. Something to keep an eye on in the last points of this set here is the Jumbo's defense. The defensive communication has been vastly improved in the second set, which you were hinting at with Bridget Bell. I also want to point out Furash. Look at how much Furash moves when the ball is on the Bobcats side. She's been all over the court in this second set.
So little differences that are making it big for Tufts here.
Lee continues her reign of terror. Ooh, that ball is hit backwards. Awkward play for the Jumbos. Lee pushes it over to Eustache. Here's the set play to Stafford Smith. Stafford Smith out of the timeout gives Bates their 10th point.
Much better there from Bates, executing on what they set out to do, and obviously are rewarded for it as Lee's reign comes to an end.
Yeah, able to get that 3 hit to Stafford Smith. That's exactly what they want in that situation. Here's your cheap way on the serve, out of bounds. Heartbreaker for the Bobcats.
Absolutely. She was serving well this game as well. She gets substituted out after her missed serve for a more defensive libero to come into the game.
Ariel Zedrick getting ready to serve. Had a good string of serving in the first set. Ball comes into Stafford Smith. Here's Pinapinto on the set. Pushed over with the left hand by Mayfield. Dessler powerfully. Did it hit a Bates defender? It did not. That is out of bounds.
A little bit of a late charge here from Bates, 21-11. Bates just making sure that Tufts knows they're still here.
Bad news for the Jumbos is Emma Ide.
Emma Ide, after today, I believe this would be for number 50 service ace on the year.
Looking for the 50 burger. Holy mackerel, Jennifer Ryan with some unbelievable power.
Having absolutely none of that half century.
Seabury didn't stand much of a chance there.
They rarely do, honestly, Owen. When Tufts is finding this kind of form.
Right, I would not want to be on the receiving end of one of Ryan's kills. That point went to the Bobcats, so I don't know what I'm saying. And that point is going to go to Bridget Bell for the 22nd point for Tufts. So Tufts now 3 points away from a 2-0 set lead.
But for as far behind in the set that Bates is, I can't say that Bates is even playing bad volleyball. They're just simply getting outclassed right now by the Jumbos.
No, Bates has had really good points. Seabury has to send a pop-up to Dessler. There's Holtz with a roll shot, but Stafford Smith is there. And that point is going to go to McCulloch. McCulloch finds a seam in the defense. 22-13.
A lot of the Bates production so far are coming from Stafford Smith, as well as Angel Chipwa. Stafford Smith serves here.
Out of bounds. Good read by Lee there.
Good court presence, more so than anything else, as Nwankpa checks back in.
Yep, so Wonka back in on the front lines with Ryan. Keep an eye on that. Bridget Bell also playing in the front court. Here's Holtz on the serve. Knocks down Stafford Smith. Holtz, that one is way up in the air. Wongpa contests that kill there. Bell powerfully. Eustache is there. Eyed to Stafford Smith. Stafford Smith gently. Nwankpa is there. Watch out, Jennifer Ryan. Jennifer Ryan gets another kill.
The Jumbos just making it look easy right now, faking them out with the back sets all over the place and capitalizing on their opportunity. You had 2 rare misses early on in the first set from the Jumbos, but since then, they've been very good about just hitting their shots.
Yeah, not much more to say other than Jennifer Ryan has been the best player on the court so far today. That ball is blocked out of bounds, so good play by McCulloch to reduce the lead to 10.
Extending the set here.
Eustache getting back to serve. You can see how far back she likes to serve it.
Yeah, adds a lot of distance. Don't know if she was hitting them out behind before, but
I misplayed that hit by Wongpa. Going to close the door on the second set. That is a 25-14 second set victory for Tufts. Tufts now 1 set away from clinching the #1 seed in the NESCAC.
All right, but still Tufts needs to realize that they are 1 set away. Anything could happen. My first game ever working for JumboCast was a volleyball game. We went 2-0 up and didn't end up winning that game. So Tufts, at least the players who aren't freshmen, will have scars from the last year of that memory. And Tufts will realize that they've been dominant, but the game's not over.
Absolutely. Some statistics here. You'll notice the one that jumps out to me right away is just the amount of kills. Tufts has 28, while Bates only has 17. So you can see how much that when you see those kill numbers, that really tells you how in sync is the offense, right?
Right.
So, and the Tufts offense has just been so much more in sync with Bates. Otherwise, the statistics are pretty similar. Similar amount of service aces, similar amounts of service errors, similar amount of reception errors. It really, like you have said, has been like Bates is not playing bad volleyball at all.
It has been one of the cleanest games of volleyball I've watched, if there's no other way to put it. If you look at all the error statistics there, 0 blocking errors on either team, 3 combined reception errors, and 4 combined service errors between the whole team. Or both teams combined, sorry. So it's just one of those nice games of volleyball to watch where all around it's just who can outclass the other, not who can make the other ones mess up.
Yeah, Bridget Bell leading on all non-liberos with 10 digs, so has been all over the place on defense so far today. You can see she's really commanding that backcourt. I'd like to give a quick shout out to Daniel Mahoney and Sam Klugers, who have been directing this game for us, as well as our cameramen Lucas Pyle and Ethan Zaharoni. Of course, JumboCast is a team sport, so this broadcast would not have been possible without all of your great help. And I'd also like to thank all of you viewers for joining us on your Friday night here in Cousins Gymnasium to watch some Tufts volleyball.
No better way to start your weekend, your Hollow weekend out there for some of you.
Absolutely.
Some of you, I'm sure, tired from all the trick-or-treating last night.
And in case anyone is wondering, we are covering all 3 of the volleyball games that will be here tomorrow. Colby versus Tufts, Tufts versus Hunter, and Colby versus Hunter. So be sure to tune in for those games. And we will also be covering the men's playoff soccer game, I believe, quarterfinal.
Yeah, versus Hamilton. It's a busy week for the JumboCast thing.
Absolutely. So
community here.
If you are a fan of JumboCast, we'd love for you to join us on any of those 4 broadcasts that we'll be doing tomorrow.
You're ready to get underway here in this 3rd set. The Jumbos looking to make it a quick game here. Everybody get out early and enjoy the rest of their Friday night, but not if Bates has anything to say about it, as it is a long trip back up to Maine.
Sure is, yeah. And Bates would love to win a set here, steal set from the Jumbos. feel good about that. But with the amount of 3-0 victories that Tufts has had so far this year, remains to be seen whether that can be pulled off. We mentioned the set numbers. I think the total amount is like 8 sets lost all year and 22 games.
22 games, yeah, 21-1 record. You got to, and thinking that 3 of those sets came in one game, really.
Right. Oh, great play by Penapinto on the rotation there, covering up for Eustach's mistake. There's Bell on the outside. Eustache again. Man, Eustache has had some trouble staying on her feet. You can see her frustration there. Tufts takes a 1-0 lead.
Eustache directing traffic here on defense, but that time could not get the job done.
Furash with her second serve. Eustache getting low to dig it. Here's Penapinto way over on the outside to Phillips. Bell getting the tool on the Chippewa, who has been having some trouble with blocking some of the Tufts attacks so far today.
Bell really just hammering it home. Nothing else to say. That's really been our strategy tonight.
Pretty much.
Not a lot of finesse, but a lot of success.
Right, she plays the front court and the back court so well. A very special player indeed. Bit of some cleaning of the court happening right now. As Furash
Believe it or not, in this Luigi costume, it's a little hot here, so it wouldn't surprise me if there was some sweat on the floor for the players out there.
Penapinto reverse set to Lightburn. No good. There's Stewart powerfully, and that isn't possible without a great set from I believe that was Lee. So Stewart with a good kill there. Furash, another serve. Sent over. There's a free ball for the Jumbos. Let's see what they do. Running the 3-hit reverse set to Wongpa, and it pays off.
So I was saying earlier, they're in that mood. Could have called that one as soon as the free ball went over.
Right, so back-to-back kills. Stewart and Wongpa makes it 4-0 Jumbos. Furash is always smiling when her serves. It's really funny to watch. Ooh, awkward play for the Bobcats. Don't blame them for that one. That ball was just all over the place. And that one is going to go down as an ace for Rachel Furash.
Love the little ace dance that Tufts on the bench do. It's very coordinated.
Yeah, very well coordinated.
An NFL team would be proud of that one.
This one's going up to a Chippewa, and a Chippewa blasts one right by Furash. Duffer was not able to get there on the rotation. It's going to make it 5-1.
Gets them on the board here in this third set. See if we can make things interesting. 5-1.
Lightburn on the serve. What's the updated numbers on the service aces there?
I believe Lightburn is at 45, and that puts her 4 behind Ide at 49. Ide obviously would love to make it, I don't know if there's a term for it in volleyball, but in cricket it'd be called a half century.
I like to say 50 burger.
A 50 burger.
Unofficial term.
Yeah, half century. Take the helmet off, wave the bat around, celebrate your accomplishment. As Bates just a much better service team than Tufts overall in general, but this game has looked pretty even with some strong stretches by Lee, who digs that one well.
6 point went to Tufts on behalf of a 4-hit for the Bobcats. That is called a double. Oh, yeah. Oh man, the Jumbos aren't happy about that one. Furash was saying, was it me? I don't think so. They were celebrating. Yeah, the Jumbos really don't agree with that one. It was called a double touch on Furash, but the point is going to go to the Bobcats either way.
Either way, you got to say as well, volleyball, one of the more respectful sports out there of the officials.
Wongpa fires right back to make it 7-2. Not a whole lot you can referee on that one. I gotta say, I don't know what that. I don't know what that dance
she was bench pressing on
signifies. I don't know when they do that one. That was unique. Stafford Smith from the outside. Ooh,
bounds.
Yeah, bad read from Furash. Who thought that one was out of bounds. I want to go back to something you said earlier about cricket. Not too many American audiences are familiar with cricket. So what makes you such a big cricket fan?
It's a good question. There's just a lot to love. Probably lose some viewers here, but it's like a more fun, faster-paced baseball.
Interesting.
First ever international game of cricket, United States versus Canada. Fun fact.
That is a good fact. That was a Stewart kill to make it 8-3. Of course, Owen hailing from many different countries, none of which, well, I guess you did grow up in the United States for a little bit. And then moved to, where did you move after Connecticut?
Hong Kong.
Hong Kong, okay. So we've got some international representation in JumboCast today. Here's Bell from the 10-foot line, sends that one to Eustache. Ball is served up to Sanchez, no good. Oh, and a beautiful play by Dessler, knocking that one right over Mayfield.
The roll shots have been coming fast and hard today from the Bows, but that was the first one that I can actually remember connecting. but the Tufts Jumbos just stayed with it and eventually got their reward.
Going up to Stafford Smith, but Zedrick is there. Zedrick also the one to serve. Reverse set from Lee. Great set and a good attempted kill by Dessler, but Ide is there on the recovery. And when a miscommunication between Sanchez and Mayfield is going to result in the 10th point for the Jumbos and a timeout for the Bobcats. All right, so 10-3. So the biggest deficit that Bates has faced so far, I believe, has been 7 points. So I think they've just tied it.
Yeah, not the strong start that Bates would be looking for here in this crucial third set.
Absolutely not.
Apologies. With the Bates faithful down in front of us to the left. Bates traveled well, honestly. It's a Friday night all the way down from Maine. You don't know whose family lives in the area, but strong traveling performance by Bates.
Yeah, so Lewiston, Maine, not particularly close. Not a whole lot of local representation either. And Sidney Phillips is the only Massachusetts native from Plainville, Massachusetts, graduate of King Philip. If any of Phillips's family is watching the JumboCast by any chance, go Warriors. Another fun fact that we haven't touched on is Uchip was hometown listed in the nearby Munich, Germany.
Nearby.
Just a short 10-hour plane ride away.
Yeah. Forget who I was talking about volleyball in Europe being a big thing. Or definitely more up and coming.
Yeah, at least in the Olympics, France has been very good in men's volleyball. Not so sure about the international standing of women's volleyball, as I mostly watch NESCAC volleyball. Let us know in the chat.
It's nice to see a bit of international representation. You don't get too much at this level.
Zedrick with her serve. Ide with the set. Oh, Lee falling down backwards. Dessler goes for the tool, no good. Here's Ide setting up Stafford Smith. Watch out, Jumbos. Good block from Heather Holtz and Jennifer Ryan. Roll shot there, out of bounds.
Okay, Dessler smiled there, but I think deep down she was maybe a little relieved. As she definitely got forced to jump there. Watched the roll shot go by her, but ultimately isn't punished.
Lead extended to 8. Here's Ide to Stafford Smith. Another block from Dessler.
Makes no mistake that time.
Dessler blocked. She actually started selling. It's like, when Steph Curry shoots a 3 and just starts walking back down the court? That was Dessler right there. She blocked it and just turned around and fist bumped.
Or more a Massachusetts reference when Big Poppy starts walking before he gets his 4th ball.
Zedrick on the set. It's Holtz. Holtz punches it over. Seabury is there. Stafford Smith, then it's going to be a point for the Bobcats. Stafford Smith manages to get it over Ryan and Holtz, which, make no mistake about it, is no easy task.
What I think is really interesting from the Tufts Jumbos is the Jumbos are up 12-4 here in a game that will probably go at this point 3-0. And Tufts has had a lot of these games, but yet you still see mostly the usual suspects in the game.
Yeah, I mean, that's good coaching. That's Cora Thompson telling them, if you're a starter, you're going to play the whole game, and you're going to try hard every single point. You know?
Absolutely, and just Tufts ruthless, really. No other way to put it.
Absolutely, that was Dessler on the kill there, and it's no surprise that they play in this ruthless manner. I think that's a really good word to describe it, Owen. With a season that they were a little bit disappointed by last season, some of the members of the team have deemed this year as their revenge tour. Really a no-quit attitude here. Yeah, that point is going to go to Jumbos. Those 4 hits on the Bobcats. Jumbos never laid a finger on it. It just went off the net, so 14-4. Dessler going to Stafford Smith. Stafford Smith, not a good play. Good save by Ide. Set play for the Jumbos here. Whoa! Man, I have not seen that play so far this season.
That is pulling up from half court. with the volleyball version there.
Wow, and it takes a really good setter to successfully pull off that play. So you can see that it would take a setter like Zedric and a hitter like, whoa, holy moly. Lee misplayed that one, and that went way over into the bench. As I still remain mesmerized by that play. 14-6 is the current score. Jumbos remain in the lead by 8. Eustache getting ready for her serve.
Again, adding the 4 extra feet.
Whoa, Ryan, good block by Uchipwa there. Wow.
Cedric shoved that one off to her teammates like it was nothing. Set to the back corner.
Yeah, Zedric with the shrug. That's
little
awesome.
Steph Curry shimmy.
Oh, that was awesome. Holtz. Uchipwa finding a seam. Dessler managed to get there. Good vision by Uchipwa.
Yeah, a little awkward there. A little bit of a late dive. Followed by a missed dive by Bridget Bell. It's getting a little chaotic out here in the third set.
I know, and the celebrations have really taken off as we saw Ide give a very powerful chest bump to Uchipwa. Wangpa is blocked by Uchipwa. There's Bell. Eustache had that one all the way. Uchipwa powerfully. Zedric. Oh! Again, on the topic of weird plays. I guess that point is going to go to Wangpa because she had the last hand on it. I just don't even have words for that one.
Not really. There's something in the air tonight here in Cousins Gymnasium. I don't know what it is, but
Furash sends that one into the net. 16-8. Bates down 8. Tufts 9 points away from clinching the #1 seed in the NESCAC. This is McCulloch, the junior. Oh, excuse me. McCulloch from Sunderland, Massachusetts. Not very close by.
Not to be confused with Sunderland in England.
Different countries. That was Bell. Bridget Bell with the kill. And is now getting set up for a serve. It's 17-8 Jumbos. So number 8 on the serve and 8 points remaining for the Jumbos to win this set.
And how many points do Bates have?
8. Oh, my goodness. Wow.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. And today's date?
No.
Oh, a powerful hit from Sydney Phillips. Gets it by Wangpa to make it 17-9. Uchipwa getting ready for the serve. Picks on Lee. Long set from Furash to Dessler. Dessler looking for the dunk, and she gets it. 18-9 Jumbos.
Jumbo's looking to just see this one out here. Don't make it too hard on themselves. Lee, who was absolutely terrific serving earlier in the game, gave Jumbos a real run. Looks to get back on her way, and another very good serve.
Yep.
And that's another ace for Lee as the dance is about to come out. Or it's not.
There's a little one. There's a little one.
There was a little bit of discontent there in the Jumbo bench whether or not to dance for Lee.
Not a good lot. Not great dance coordination late in this game.
Yeah.
You know, we mentioned how important it is for the Jumbos to keep presence of mind for the whole game, and that goes for the bench mob as well.
Terrific dig there.
Yeah, good dig by Seabury. It's going to be a free ball for the Jumbos. Bates is going to have to stay on their toes here. Eustace, great play.
Gets out of the way.
Ooh, great defense by Bates on consecutive drives there.
Bates just looking to frustrate the Jumbos.
Ooh, bad set by Penapinto there, but Bates stays alive.
This would be a huge moral victory for Bates here.
Absolutely, but watch out because Stewart. Another great dig by Seabury. Eustache sending it over. Oh, was it out of bounds? It was. Killer.
It's
great
a
job by the
heartbreaker for Bates. That was very close.
Oh, man. Megan Seabury, whose name we have not said very often this game, the backup defensive specialist.
Yeah. That was
padding
your statistics if I've ever seen one. She probably had 4 or 5 digs on that one play.
20-9. Tufts in the lead.
20-9.
Bates. Timeout. Not much to say there. I mean, the offense is clicking spectacularly for the Jumbos.
Tufts firing on all cylinders here.
Totally. For fans of the NBA, the Celtics currently trail the Knicks 23-22.
Which is a sentence I never thought I'd hear in my lifetime. So.
And this is normally when we would give the Tufts sports update, but right now, volleyball is the only team playing. No update to give. We did mention the men's soccer team found success this season, heading into the NESTAC quarterfinals, and they were playing Hamilton, I believe.
Yep, Hamilton.
So it should be a good game there. We are covering and check in because there's nothing like playoff soccer. Tufts a very successful soccer program over the past couple of years.
Interesting thing, the YouTube video came up in my subscription box or recommended box, and it was the reality of playing D1 soccer, and it's got like 500,000 views, and in it they're also talking about how you could play at a D3 level, and the clip that they used for D3 was Joe Braun's winner against Middlebury in the NESCAC from 2 years ago.
Wow.
And I thought it was just funny that I was watching this video out there with 500,000 views, and all of a sudden Joe Braun pops out of nowhere. After scoring the overtime winner against Middlebury last week as well.
Right.
I just thought it was quite funny. So
I wonder if he knows that.
I don't know. I don't know the guy, so if you do, let him know.
Here's a set from Penapinto. It's a reverse set to McCulloch. To Phillips, and Phillips gets a powerful kill there. Phillips has shown some really bright flashes so far this game, and of course, only a sophomore.
Also, just another thing for all-around Tufts Sports updates. If you would like to hear more, every other Friday we do run a Tufts Sports radio. So that one's sails out of bounds.
Sails out of bounds, 2110 Bobcats. Yes, we do have a radio show on WMFO.org, or 91.5 FM, WMFO.
Yeah, you can go watch or listen to the replays. We did one this morning. And I unfortunately slept through.
But yeah, so check in 2 Fridays, because that might be one of the last ones of the semester. That ball sent into the net by Seabury. Not a great play there. So the Jumbo is now 3 points away from victory, and look who's serving, number 3. Some other sports news is the Seattle Seahawks have claimed Josh Gordon.
Know what I'm doing on Fantasy NFL when I go home.
Dessler, that ball looked like it may have gone out of bounds, but Seabury got a hand on it. Ooh, there's Stafford Smith with some serious power.
Bates making a little run of things here.
Stafford Smith getting ready to serve. Stafford Smith is a name that I've been saying since I was a freshman, and she was a freshman. She has been a cornerstone of this Bates team for 4 years. Dessler is met at the net by Delaney Mayfield and gets rejected to make it 22-11.
Bates, I'm telling you, making a little bit of a comeback here and a few Tufts errors to go along with it. Stafford Smith looking to ignite the fire under the Bates team here.
Dessler looking to extinguish that fire. Does not do so. Sends it right into the net to make it 22-13. Couple slip-ups from the Jumbos.
Different defensive setup here as well for the Bows. Good dig by Bell.
Yeah, sort of a weird 2-4 thing going on there. Dessler off the top of the net, her second error in a row, sends that one out of bounds.
So, although that play did not work out, you saw before the Bates served there that Dessler was motioned over to the other side, ultimately almost setting it up in advance here. It's a good sign of a well-coached team.
Yeah, Ryan's hit is no good. Pushed over, there's Bell in the backcourt. Zedrick up to Ryan. Ryan looking to make an impact. Met at the net was McCulloch, but that point is ultimately going to go to McCulloch as the block was unsuccessful
and
for the Jumbos.
Bates doesn't, the line official changed his call there. The official pointed towards the tough side. Stafford Smith went over and grabbed the ball, and he pointed the other way.
All right, I do think it was Bates' point.
Stafford, I agree that it was Bates' point, but a little bit of confusion there from the referee. Ultimately, it's actually an interesting thing that sometimes if you act confidently, you can end up getting the call to go your way.
Something weird is going on here.
Yeah.
I think there was some arguing with the referee. The referee seemed to be having some words with the bench, now having a word with the scoring table, so we're not totally sure if the score displayed is totally accurate on the Jumbotron.
Well, it would be the same score that we are displaying.
Right, Right, so we'll get an update on that. Anyways, it was a timeout taken by Tufts, I believe.
You can see there over by the scorer's bench as well, the gentleman in the white shirt that's not an official. That is the silky smooth voice of Cousins Gymnasium, Andy Anderton, who is also a JumboCast member. JumboCast covering every corner of this gym tonight.
Yeah, JumboCast member and a club volleyball member, so a lot of overlap tonight.
Right, 6'4" is Andy Anderton. Quite a presence up there on that net. But I'm sure he has absolutely nothing on Wonkba.
Tufts Club Volleyball is another successful volleyball program within the university. They went to nationals in Denver, Colorado last spring.
Club boys soccer B team with a fairy tale run making it to nationals this year, so good luck to those boys as well.
The club soccer team?
Yeah, 24th seed out of 24 teams going into the tournament and end up winning it all.
Service error from Stafford Smith is going to put the Jumbos 2 points away from victory. Dessler with the serve. Eustace was calling that it was out, but Stafford Smith played it. Zedrick up to Holtz. Well played by Ide there. Stafford Smith to... Ooh, there's Ryan. Oh, and Ide couldn't get down low enough for that one. Point's going to go to Ryan. 24-16. The Jumbos are 1 point away from victory.
Match point, and to serve is what I would argue so far is my player of the game, Kate Dessler.
To Stafford Smith. Ide. And Bates stays alive by the point from McCulloch. So if Tufts wants to win, it's going to have to be against the serve from Bates.
I think what's also important here is to make Tufts win this game. Bates will hate if they're the one who makes an error here. I think that
absolutely, just
like all game, Bates has done a great job making Tufts try to beat them as Bates gets another point here for a double touch. This is a lot closer than maybe some Jumbos were expecting.
Right. Bates only down 6 now, so don't count him out yet. Double touch on, I actually don't know who it was called on it. I think it might have been Zedrick. Eustace from deep. Zedrick saying to Ryan, what's the call? It was inbounds. Tufts has secured a victory over the Bates Bobcats, and in doing so has secured the #1 seed for the NESCAC tournament.
Moves to an impressive 9-0 in the NESCAC as well. By no means an easy conference, as Cora Thompson gets it done again.
Absolutely, a lot of good offensive play from a lot of different members of the Jumbos team today. They will be continuing their season with the last home games of the season and the last games of their regular season tomorrow against Colby and against Hunter College starting at noon. Be sure to tune in to JumboCast. We're going to have one stream for all 3 games. So a whole day of volleyball tomorrow for all volleyball fans. And I'd like to thank our directors, Daniel Mahoney and Sam Klugers, as well as our cameramen Lucas Pyle and Ethan Zacharoni. My name is Owen Finnegan. On behalf of Owen Fitzsimons, I hope you all have a wonderfully happy and safe weekend, and thank you for tuning in.